You don't need, super high-tech gear at the end of the day.
My racing bike for indoors is an aluminium racing bike. Weight isn't an issue. So like a sturdy bar stem setup. Um, I prioritized, good shifting. So I've got electronic shifting on my bike. I use an SRM power meter where data really is super key, and alignment of the turbo trainer to our power meters is really important for like verification purposes. We have to dual record in elite races, so we record our power meter to the head unit, and then we use the turbo trainer as the primary source of data when we're racing. And then we need to then send that secondary file through. So ensuring like a good accurate power meter is used for I mean, I only use the power meter specifically for my training. I like one source of data for all of my training, so that's what I use. But yeah, there's specific turbos as well in elite racing that you're allowed to use or not allowed to use. So there's set rules. So I'm currently on a Wahoo V6. I'm not on a rocker plate, although lots of riders and some riders in my team use rocker plates to allow for more comfort and lateral and fore and aft movement of the bike. I prefer the bike to be static, actually. I didn't get on very well with a rocker plate because sometimes it can encourage a reverse form. Like when you step down when you're sprinting, the bike normally goes the opposite way. But
Oh,
on a
yeah,
rocker
yeah.
plate, if you put your weight on one side, the bike can rock towards that side. So you need to be really mindful. And it's just an added thing that I didn't find that was sort of necessary. Um, then yeah, good laptop TV setup. Like I said already, like air conditioning units and dehumidifiers and stuff, super key. Actually, one of the best things I bought for my garage was an air conditioning unit. So I've got like air conditioning. I have three huge fans for cooling. I have a little monitor that shows the temperature and the humidity gauge. So that I've got a dehumidifier set up as well in the garage. I try and keep the conditions that I know I perform the best at
Yeah.
accurate to what's going on in my garage.
So
Yeah.
it sounds like, outside that, like, for people who might want to get into it or, are still on the, you don't need, super high-tech gear at the end of the day, just having a bike and, obviously there's a financial input to have a turbo trainer, but, those are almost minimums that you that you need. You don't need any elaborate, expensive bikes to be able to do this and take part. Is there a specific bit of equipment that you just couldn't do without for indoor racing?
Um, the big game changer for me, like I said, was getting the aircon unit. It sounds like, I mean, they're not cheap, but even going back to that, I was doing the racing early on where I wasn't even using a fan. I was just opening the window and was assuming that would be fine. So just having having a good high velocity fan, you can pick them up fairly inexpensively, will change the game. Yeah, then building up from there. It doesn't need to be all at once. Like I got one fan and then I was like, oh, well, maybe I need some cooling more from the side. So I got another fan, one on my one directly on my face. You don't need to go all in. It's taken a few years to sort of finely tune and get the setup dialed.